Whether we like to admit it or not, and believe me, I do not like admitting this, but Jake Paul earned some respect last night. Some. I've never taken the Paul brothers seriously. I respect their hustle. They have accomplished a hell of a lot. I don't watch their content, I don't watch their YouTube channel, but millions of other people do. When Jake Paul entered the sport of boxing, I thought it was a publicity stunt. Boxing has declined so much in my lifetime. The sport has turned into a parody of itself. We no longer see major boxing matches. We no longer see Tyson Holyfield, Mayweather Pacquiao, Roy Jones Jr., Lennox Lewis. We don't see great boxers anymore. Now, if you're stupid enough to buy these pay per views, we're getting matches like Aaron Carter versus Lamar Odom. It's a joke. You would be hard pressed to find another sport that has declined as much as the sport of boxing. I will give him credit though. Jake Paul is taking this seriously. He's not treating boxing like it's a publicity stunt. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say that he's bringing legitimacy back to it, but he's at least trying to make it entertaining. Last night, Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley went head to head for the second time. Their first fight had a controversial ending, ended in a split decision. Jake Paul was named the winner. Now, there was a lot of back and forth afterwards. Fans were even split about who won the fight. Woodley claimed that he won. Jake Paul, of course, claimed he won, and he did, on paper anyway. There will be no debate on the outcome of the fight last night. Yeah, Jake Paul knocked Tyron Woodley the fuck out. Depending on how you look at it, this is either the best thing for boxing in years or the worst thing for boxing because now Jake Paul's annoying ass is not going away. In his post fight press conference, Jake Paul went after Dana White in the UFC. Like me, Dana White doesn't take Jake Paul seriously. Jake Paul claims that by knocking out Tyron Woodley, he embarrassed Dana White in the UFC. Okay. Now he wants Nate Diaz. He wants to go after Jorge Masvidal, Conor McGregor. Hell, he wants anyone Dana White will give him. There's an old saying, pride comes before the fall. I think Jake Paul is setting himself up for a big fall. There is a huge difference between boxing and MMA. Big, big difference. Jake Paul does not stand a chance against any of those UFC fighters that I just named. If Dana White really wanted to embarrass him, set him up with Khabib. Bring Khabib out of retirement just to beat the shit out of Jake Paul. Dude would never step into the octagon again. He would be out of his element, clearly out of his element. Hell, this kid is so confused when it comes to MMA, he can't even count. Last night, he kept saying that he knocked out a 5-time UFC champion. Clearly, he doesn't know how to count championships. Tyron Woodley is a 1-time UFC champion. Just because he successfully defended his title 4 times, doesn't make him a 5-time champion. Jake Paul needs to go back to first grade math. Now, after last night, his confidence and his ego are at all-time highs, but like I said, pride comes before the fall. Let's look at this objectively. Who has Jake Paul really beaten? He beat some YouTuber in his first fight. Second fight, he beat Nate Robinson and bragged about it afterwards. I'm not sure if he knows this. Nate Robinson is an NBA player. He's not a boxer. Third fight, he beat Ben Askren. Again, another MMA fighter in a boxing match. Then, of course, he's beaten Tyron Woodley twice in boxing, not MMA. Now, while it's impressive for an amateur fighter like Jake Paul to knock out Woodley, it doesn't mean he's ready for elite UFC fighters. Tyron Woodley is well past his prime. Dude's 39 years old. He's lost his last 4 fights in the UFC, hasn't won a fight since 2018. And he took the fight last night on 2 weeks' notice. Jake Paul has yet to fight anyone with real boxing experience, and now he thinks he's ready for UFC? Now, that's just speculation on my part, but I'm just going off what he said last night. If he's wanting to fight Nate Diaz or Jorge Masvidal, they're under contract to UFC. I take that press conference last night as Jake Paul pushing Dana White to give him an opportunity. Question is, will Dana White take the bait? I think he would be stupid not to. What does the UFC need to succeed? Star power. They need star power. Like it or not, Jake Paul is a superstar. He would generate a lot of pay-per-view buys for his first fight. And it's not like bringing in someone like Jake Paul would be unprecedented for the UFC. A few years ago, Dana White brought in CM Punk, a damn WWF wrestler, and he put him on pay-per-view not once, but twice. CM Punk had 2-3 years to prepare for his first fight. He got demolished. Now, Jake Paul is a hell of a lot more legitimate than CM Punk. That being said, he ain't ready for UFC. Hell, he's not ready to fight a real boxer. People aren't going to continue paying to watch him fight if he puts up performances like he did last night. Outside of the knockout, the fight was boring. The people in attendance in Tampa, they were booing the shit out of it. I think Dana White should give him a chance, though. And don't put him in there with some inexperienced rookie, some scrub. Give the kid what he wants. Give him Nate Diaz. Give him Jorge Masvidal. Beg Khabib to come out of retirement and put an end to this bullshit once and for all. Like I said in the beginning, Jake Paul earned some respect last night. Some. Just because you knocked out an MMA fighter past his prime in a boxing match, just because you were paid for the fight, it does not make you a professional boxer. This was an exhibition. It was a show. That's all it was. But keep calling out these elite MMA fighters. Keep goading Dana White. He might have given you exactly what you want. All right, let me know what you guys think. Did Jake Paul earn your respect last night? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.